So what is this?
Well, this is provenance or phenomenon. And what that even really means, though, is in class, our professor asked us if we would do a creative project, and that we had to propose one question or just something that we wanted answered. So I think that's kind of where this stems from and where it comes from.
Yeah, we were sitting in class, and the minute that you started talking about it, the first idea that crossed my mind was a video. And
yeah, we wanted to get other people's thoughts and ideas on this question that we have.
Yeah, almost like a social experiment.
Yeah.
And we didn't really know him.
Yeah, I kind of sat in front of him in class, and I skipped the day that our professor assigned this. So I was sitting in class, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to be in our group?" And I was like, "Group for what?" So, but here I am. It worked out. So.
Yeah, and here's the final result of it all.
If this is a social experiment, what kind of question were you asking?
Okay, so we wanted to start off with like kind of lighthearted questions to get them involved, because if you just come out with the big questions, they're going to be kind of standoffish. So it was like kind of a trivia question almost. We started off with asking them how many constellations they could name in the sky. And we got a surprising variety of answers, but most of them pretty much named like the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, and the Orion, and that's almost universal throughout all the videos. Like everybody pretty much named those three.
Yeah.
So everybody pretty much, they at least knew what a constellation was.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to get at.
So there's the Big Dipper, the little one. You have the one that kind of looks like a dog.
The Big Dipper, the Little Dipper. There's, oh no.
There's Orion, he has a belt.
Big Dipper, Little Dipper, Orion's belt.
There's a whale? No.
Aries, Pisces, Taurus, Auriga, Canis Major, Canis Minor.
The Big Dipper, Little Dipper, and Orion's belt.
And the second question we asked people is, why do you think we even have seasons? And kind of the three main words that we found from all of these, their responses, was rotation, tilt, and orbit. I would say most people understood the reason why we have seasons.
Overall, it's because of the distance the distance that the sun is from the Earth. Because the Earth is on an axis, it's not always facing the same, or it's not always as close to the sun as it is one point of our calendar year that it is another point. So when it's further away, it's colder, and when it's closer, it's summer.
Because the Earth is like at an angle, so like when it rotates around the sun, like each hemisphere of the Earth is like further away at a different point in the orbit.
Yes, because of the way that the Earth rotates and the orbit around the Earth.
So then the next couple of questions that we asked were regarding planets and galaxies. So the first was, we asked the people we were interviewing if they could name the planets in our solar system, and if they could do it in order. I was actually surprised, because a lot of them got it in order. Somebody sang a song for us, but for the most part, people were asking whether or not Pluto still remained named a planet or not.
I sang a Blues Clues song in my head. The sun's a hot star, Mercury's hot too.
Yeah, there's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. That's it. So there's 8. Because they took off Pluto.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Pluto is not my planet, so now we got it.
Well, are we counting Pluto or not counting Pluto?
So then the next part of the interview, we asked about what galaxy do people think that we are a part of? And we got 2 answers. And the first, we actually got a few people who said that we were in the Andromeda Galaxy, but in reality, we are actually residing in the Milky Way Galaxy.
Milky Way?
Andromeda?
Milky Way?
Andromeda Galaxy? No, Milky Way Galaxy. What am I talking about? Yeah, sorry, it's the second galaxy I think of.
No, I really don't know.
Milky Way.
Milky Way, you're so right.
So the next question we asked was if they knew the approximate age of the universe, and if they did, if they knew when time equals 0 was, or what they think happened at time equals 0. So we got a variety of different answers. Some of them ranged from like 4 million at one point, I think, to like 15 billion or something like that. But
like 10,000 years as well.
10,000, yeah, okay, yeah, because that was like But then, so obviously the correct answer for the approximate age of the universe is what is most widely accepted is 13.8 billion years. And so once we finally gave them that answer, and then we asked them when they thought time equals 0 was, most of them said the Big Bang was when time equals 0 was, and that was the majority of answers was that they said the Big Bang.
Yeah, many people also said that they just didn't know.
Yeah, we had a lot of blank stares.
Yeah.
6 billion?
So I take the biblical perspective on this. If God created the earth, like the sky, the sea, the ground that you walk on, pretty much I count that as 0. What I guess the time frame for that would be probably like 15,000 years ago for me, my beliefs.
I do not know, but there's different approximations of how old the universe is. So
I would err more on the side of the universe, including Earth, is more on the 1,000 side of the spectrum rather than the billions of years.
The approximate age is like, what, 13 billion, 14 billion? And then t equals 0 would be like the Big Bang.
As Caleb said earlier, these questions were almost like a warm-up for the real questions that we wanted answers to. And so, and those questions were, what do you think about regarding astronomy? Like thinking about constellations and galaxies. Do you ever think about where it all comes from? And we got yes, no, I don't really think about it. It kind of freaks me out. Or maybe, I think about it a lot and I've done a lot of studying on it and I still want to know more.
I don't know where it all comes from. I don't really think about it because I don't know how you would know where it all comes from.
Sometimes, yeah. I more so question it than think about it, because there's a whole lot to think about, and I don't really think that I have the answer to where it all came from.
Or what do you think about the creation of the universe? What do you think caused it?
I mean, I believe that God is the clockmaker, so like he started the Big Bang and then he stepped back and then he knew that everything was going to happen, so he just lets things happen.
I do believe that there is a creator, and I definitely believe like there's a purpose behind all this. We're not just aimlessly walking on Earth. We're not just like aimlessly in the universe somewhere. Like there is something behind everything, I feel like.
The Big Bang Theory doesn't explain where it all comes from. So it doesn't actually explain the moment of the Big Bang. It doesn't say what banged and why something banged and where it all came from. It's a theory about what happened after that moment. And I guess that's very well accepted. I don't know how I would make sense of an intelligent design.
We have found no other planet like Earth. It just makes it so hard to believe that Earth is an accident.
We just didn't come about just like that. I think there's some higher power that kind of arrange things the way they are.
So the first idea that we presented was the Big Bang Theory. And this idea that it's like the law of conservation of matter. You cannot create nor destroy, and so you can only transform matter. And therefore, when we look at the universe and scientists have determined that it is expanding, then we can logically say that it must have had a beginning point, a smaller moment where it was all together condensed in a hot, tiny thing, and then it expands and explodes, and that's what we call the Big Bang, and then all the stars decaying is how we have the elements that we have here on this Earth, like carbon all the way to iron.
Okay, so after that we presented a second theory, which is that of creationism, and it comes from Christianity and the Judeo religion, which can be found starting off in Genesis chapter 1 of the Bible, where it says in the first verse, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. So it presents this eternal being that that has no beginning, has no end, and brings into existence everything. And from that verse on, it starts to talk about how God breathed, this eternal being breathed, and everything came into existence. So then you have stars and galaxies and planets and solar systems all come into existence at this seemingly like one time.
And we just asked them what they thought about the 2 ideas that we had presented them.
Who's to say that that's not how God crafted everything together? But I believe that it did start with God, and God was the one who spoke, and then everything occurred. And to look at science and to see, well, this is how they're structured, and to know that we have a God that's so detailed and complex, to be able to know how to put all of these things into motion, to where everything works in a way like that, and create something so beautiful for us to view, is just absolutely, like, I don't even have words for it. Like, I'm just so in awe.
The Big Bang is true. Big Bang is seems to be something logical that can be proved eventually if it's not already. And yeah, something came from nothing, and that sounds like the Big Bang.
Why did you do this?
Oh, you just want to know what people think.
So what do you think?